So I'm going to assume you already know about the crazy drop in player count since the release of the finals. And it's safe to say that there was a spike when Season 2 dropped, but we haven't seen those crazy launch numbers since, well, launch. Obviously, we all know that a game's launch is when we see the peak of its player base, then it slowly drops and stabilizes over a few months. What's different about the finals, though, is the potential everyone had for it to be up there with Call of Duty and Battlefield. And we wanted them to be a contender on that level because of the completely opposite business model that Embark Studios had. A free to play game with awesome graphics and destructibility, only cosmetic microtransactions, and free updates. This is obviously vastly different from the greedy ass, cash grabbing, player robbing ways of mostly the rest of the entire gaming industry. So, what's the problem? Why isn't the finals just as popular as those other heavy hitters? Well, there are a couple of reasons. Firstly, there just isn't a whole lot of content in the game. You can unlock all the different weapons and abilities pretty quickly, and there are just three contestants to play with: light, medium, and heavy. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but it's obvious the game needs more in the way of a progression system to keep players. The maps are great, but I think they could do a lot better in the way of set pieces that show off how destructible the game is. Yeah, you can bring down entire villages in the game, but I just don't see that happening regularly. Most players only use the destructibility as a means to an end, and I'm not saying that's bad at all. I just think that the destruction should be more of a spectacle. Like in Battlefield 4, when Shanghai Tower falls and every player in the lobby stops what they're doing and just looks at it crumble. I think we need a bit more of that in the game. I think set pieces like that would do a hell of a lot to not only keep players playing, but get new players in as well. I think we need more game modes as well, most that incentivize the destructive elements of the game. Maybe a mode where two teams have to destroy each other's towers in a set amount of time, or maybe a search and destroy mode that levels half the map when the bomb goes off. I don't know. I'm not a game insider. I just think more fun game modes that casual players can hop in and enjoy would be great for the game. And finally, there's the issue of ranked. Listen, I'm sure we all expected a great and in-depth ranked mode upon release, especially since the entire premise of the game is basically that. However, it's pretty obvious that the finals was never built to be that in the first place. Embark set out to make a fun, free-to-play FPS. And that's pretty much it. Rank was basically an afterthought for them. At least that's what it feels like. Considering the premise and how much people love the competitive scene, they really need to dedicate a really huge portion of time to ranked and giving players that experience. It's something that you'll have to wait for. I just say give it time. However, I do think their overall focus should be adding more content to the game and making new game modes and maps because that's what will keep people playing and what most people actually find fun.